Hey everyone, it's me, Lauren, your creative mentor. And today is the last episode of class. Maybe for a while. I just wanted to talk to you guys and reflect on everything because this month has been really nuts. It's been really nuts for me, as well as you. I had to suddenly announce earlier this month that I'm ending the podcast earlier than I meant to. I wanted to make it to January and make this a year-long thing, but that's just not how the cards were dealt. Because one, I genuinely can't think of anything more I can offer to green designers at this point, or creatives. Because we talked about how to find work, and then how to get work, how to interview, show your portfolio. And then we walked through all the things you're going to encounter through maybe your first real job and, all the mental stuff that can come with that. And then once you get the hang of that, we talked a little more about, how to find growth opportunities for yourself, how to stand your ground, how to present ideas. I kind of walked you through like fresh out of school through your first kind of real career job up until you were ready to leave it for the next thing, which is how careers work. You figure out how to grow to the best of your ability based on your goals after you've defined what your goals even are, which a lot of people and a lot of creatives, including myself, don't really do. There's no exercise in school that makes you define why you do this, like at the scale that we end up doing it. Or, we went over the design census and learned that, a majority of people work within an in-house team. And if they don't work there, they work in an agency. And people do digital and social and user experience work. And there's all kinds of ways to be creative in a creative career, and we've went through all of that, and we all learned how much money we're supposed to make with the salary guides and what kind of contract agencies and temp agencies are out there to help us, all that stuff. I really think you guys would be shocked with how much we've all gone through and how much you know now. And it's really amazing to me that even I know that much. I know I'm the teacher and like teachers aren't supposed to say stuff like that, but I really, when I started this, we were in the 2020 pandemic, believe it or not. We were all still quarantined at home. If you watch these episodes, the first ones were done in my room. I still lived with a roommate, and now like he's gone off to do his own thing, and now I have my own office. We're still working from home, but life is wild, and we've gone through a lot in the last 9 months. We've gone through a presidential election. We've gone through, well, maybe that wasn't this year. I don't know how time works, and I know you don't either. But we've all redefined a lot of things in our life, and I really hope that this podcast has really walked you through all of the things to think about to make sure that you're adjusting your life how you want to. Because I know as an established creative now, this was a weird wake-up call. Navigating how things work on TikTok and listening to the discourse that we're all having on there, which is where a lot of my discussions happen that inspire subjects for this podcast. And a lot of your questions come in and we have entire discussions, and like I at your questions in there, like, for people like me who are established versus people who are most likely like you who were just starting out. You guys have the luxury of defining what you're doing. We were scrambling out of school to just find any work that was mildly creative. And then at this point, at the 2020 pandemic, the 2021 kind of like rollout, we all kind of feel like we woke up for the first time and we're like, what am I doing? Do I even like this? How do I feel about this? How do my ethics play into what I'm doing? And like all this stuff. So, while I hope I offered you a ton of information that's helped you, you guys have all offered me a lot of things to think about too. And this podcast has helped me just as much. And also too, like I was putting a portfolio page together for this just because I'm me, as you know. And like seeing all the stuff just as a designer, not even the producer and the person talking, just as a designer, the workbooks I've made for you guys and the branding I've done for this project and the video editing and the sound editing and like all this stuff. And as you can see, as I've gone through, I've gotten better at like filming things and producing stuff, and I've had technical difficulties and all that stuff. Like I have grown so much because of this project, and it was really nice to see it to the end, even if it was kind of a shortcoming end. But the outreach is insane. Like, I have almost 5,500 followers on TikTok, and like I've had Instagram for 10 years, and I haven't even hit 1,000 people there. And like learning how TikTok works and listening to you guys and having fun and like making an algorithm and learning a whole new platform as a user who makes content, and seeing you guys on YouTube, and also just seeing the listens over the months and seeing it grow has been like nuts. Like I really didn't think that this would reach as many of you as it has. And I really love how many of you make LinkedIn's and reach out to me. I probably have like 5 people reach out a month on there, which is really awesome. And I love that. And like now I feel really excited on LinkedIn when I'm like, hey, there's jobs over here, or this studio exists, or this person had something to say. I just feel so much more of use, which I love that. And you know, I've had parents ask about art school for their teenagers and what my opinion is or how to help them think about it. And I've had you guys send me novel emails about what you're looking for, what you struggle with, what you want help with, looking over your portfolios and offering me just writing back just as long emails. Like, it takes a lot of time, and I might not get to everything as fast as I want to, but I just love it. I love seeing what you all are making and doing and wondering about and trying, and it's just really exciting for me. And like, while I don't think we are all that different in like age or things like that, or even experience at times, like I'm just so excited for the people under me to grow into their own here, because I'm kind of going off into a new opportunity where I finally get to manage some people, which I think I will be good at. And like, you know, not everybody wants to be promoted into a managerial position at all. And if you're a creative trying to climb the ladder and the titles of what you're doing, like, you don't have to be a director of any kind, and you don't have to be a manager, and you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I think a lot of us just think we're supposed to, but I genuinely think that that is what I am meant for. I love helping people. I love telling them everything I know. I love being transparent. As you all know, you've spent the last 9 months with me. So it's just really satisfying to watch you guys have some wins and listen to the jobs that you've gotten with some of my tips. And like, I'm just glad I could help, because corporate America is not built for creatives, and corporate America is not built for anybody else other than cisgendered men. So I am just over the moon when I hear how successful you guys are. And I know some of you are going to absolutely surpass me. And I love it. I love that for you. So just this whole situation has been like really nice and like kind of humbling. And, you know, I'm just a girl in her apartment doing her own thing. And like, this podcast was a ton of work, guys. It's so much work. And I know I wasn't always on time in Patreon, and I appreciate you guys subscribing on there if you have. It's okay if you haven't, but you know, while I had a $500 a month goal, didn't quite get there. That's okay. I still made enough money to make the podcast hosted for free for at least 2 more years, which is great for maybe not making content for a while. I have some more lessons to learn on my own before I can help you guys out with Creative Mentor 102. So, I hope this tax season you guys aren't fucked. So, that really was the funniest one that surprised me. When I did my tax episode, I think it's like episode 4 or something, I got the most engagement on that. And I was like, taxes are boring and complicated and I don't understand all of them, but I understand enough to like give you enough to work with. And that was one of my most listened to episodes, which really makes me laugh. You guys are funny. So... And then I just love that you loved hearing the other creatives' perspective. That was really fun, like just getting my old colleagues and my friends together. And that was another moment where I really saw, I was like, wow, like we've all grown into our own and we're all good at these things and the authority in these things. And we have a lot to offer like new people advice. And that was just really awesome to go through. And like, you guys all kind of held me accountable in a way. Like, no one asked me to be this way, but knowing every week I would come essentially to class and have something to talk about and walk you through points of framework to think about things, I had to stick to that myself. It's really easy in your job to kind of just become the wallpaper after a while. And I was heading there, and that's fine, but like, it's still weird. And, I stood up for myself and I stood up for my idea and I followed my own advice because I think it's really easy to give people advice and not follow it yourself. But like in doing this exercise every single week with you guys, I got so much better, so much faster, even in my own career. And so this has just been like really strange. Like, I put this work upon myself. No one asked me to do this. No one demanded I do this. I just saw a need and filled it, which is what I naturally do. And it's what you do at work. You're probably doing it at work too. And it was just like, it was really interesting to just see. So, I mean, I'm gushing about you guys and all this stuff, but I genuinely, like, I needed this and I loved every second of this. And I'm a little bit sad that I can't keep doing it, but like, I know me and I know what I'm about to start. And, I start my new job pretty soon and I can't handle the holidays, a brand new job and all of that. So, if I manage people, I don't know the amount of team I'm going to help manage, but, I'm essentially a design associate manager. But I also want to find a therapist. I haven't gone to therapy in a while, and I really think if you're going to manage other people, especially in this climate, you should have a therapist. Because I personally don't think it's appropriate to like bitch or gossip with other coworkers when you are a manager about the people you manage or whatever you're going through. When you're just like a regular level person, you have your coworkers for that, but I also don't know like the team very well, and so like I know I'm gonna need an outlet to reflect on like what's going on to be the best design manager I can be. And I have to stick a feather in my cap and keep this going. I did this whole podcast and I need to keep this strength and attitude up for the team I'm going to be on. So that's like something else that's going to occupy my time. And I just want to get the hang of it before I pick this up again, which I would like to. I also hope that the workbooks that I make for the Patreon page, which will still be up, there's still going to be premium content. You'll pay per post, but I'm going to keep the Patreon up for you guys, as I've mentioned in the past. But I really hope to make the workbook like a real book. Like, I really want to make a proper like walkthrough book like I made for all of you guys over the last 9 months, and publish it. It's not going to be exact, so you guys are going to still have the only one of that exists. But I think after making all of that and putting all these resources together and making all these question and answers for you and just being really like, This is messed up, this is weird, there's drama, all this stuff, writing these and designing these pages for you guys to use as a workbook and a reference book and, a validating like mental health staple. I would love to publish that somewhere. So if any of you know anything about publishing, let a girl know. And also, I'm just such a bad speller. It's been on my bucket list forever to just publish a book. I just think it would be so ironic and funny, but I think I could do it, and I would really love to. And I also hope someday when I'm a little old lady and I'm tired of doing the advertising game, because it's kind of a high pressure job. But when I'm like done, whatever that means, I would love to just move into an old historical house somewhere, not in the heart of downtown Chicago, and just, be a creative mentor professor somewhere. I would love to work in an art program somewhere and like just teach this at school because it's missing. That's why this exists. All of this information is not at school, which is the whole point and like how we all got here. So, that would be my hope for the future for me. So I don't know. I just thought I would share all of that. But it's just been so cool the last 9 months. And I'm a little sad that this project is ending. So, if you've made it this far, if you've listened to all of these, congratulations, you passed the class. And, you're going to do just fine. And you're going to be celebrated at your jobs. And you're going to be great creatives. And you're going to be great assets to teams. And you're going to be great, checkpoints for people and emotional supporters and empathetic coworkers. You're going to be all those great things because, as I climb my creative ladder and I talk to my friends that own their own marketing firms and talk to my art directors and my old art directors and my old school art directors and my modern new school art directors that have managed me or I've worked next to, we sit and talk about this stuff forever. And it's just really fun. And even when I was interviewing at the company I'm now going to work for, they were mentioning this podcast. And I'm just so thankful that I could be a voice that I don't hear. Because I don't hear a lot of mall goths gone corporate talk about their career, and I don't hear a lot of women talk about their career, and I don't hear a lot of queer people talk about their career like this, and I don't see a lot of heavily tattooed goth people ascending the ladder of creative advertising. Like every room I walk into, it's just me. And that's fine, but I want more of us out there. And so I'm just really grateful you guys all came along. All the like 2,000 a month of you come along and you've listened to me and you've given me feedback that this is helpful. I mean, I'll scream into a void all day, but like hearing how this has helped you guys and celebrating your victories has just been the positivity I needed in the pandemic. And I'm glad it was useful and helpful. I'm sure I've said that like 20 different ways in this podcast already. But you guys were brought up in my job interview. You guys are brought up at my old job all the time. My old coworkers bring you up. I know you also listen. Hey, what's up? So yeah, this has just been great, and I wish it could keep going, but if I had 2 more of me, maybe I could. So this content will forever be on YouTube. I'm going to pay to have it keep being hosted on Podbean for you. The Patreon will stay up. Hopefully I'll publish this book. And, I just hope you can point people to this and that this is helpful. And again, I keep this as free as possible because everyone should be allowed to know this. Just because you couldn't afford art school, or no one at your school had the tools to teach you this, or you just don't know anyone in your own life who has the experience or the way to articulate this experience to you, shouldn't be a barrier for you to be successful at this. The talent is there. The creativity is there. The imagination is there. all of that is a given in this podcast. You already know. You already have that. You know, this is about validating how scary imposter syndrome is, and everybody gets it. And that weird shit happens in life. And even though we try to systemize everything, the system isn't smart. And, you know, there's conflict resolution and interpersonal skills that you need to succeed at least corporate America design, whatever that means, or advertising, or email stuff, or strategy, or whatever you end up doing. And paying your dues means just trying things until you specialize in it. And maybe if you're lucky, in 5 to 8 years, you'll find what you specialize in, like I just did. So that's what this whole thing's for. And, you know, while my dad was an executive and I got a lot of input from an executive guy, I don't know creatives who've built this or have a pathway they can articulate and explain. I'm trying to do that for you. Sure, I'm a graphic designer. You might not be. But all of this can help you and be relevant. And people just don't say what they mean. So I'm going to do it. In true goth, punk rock fashion, I'm just going to say what everything is and what we mean. And I'm not going to pussyfoot around it. Oh, what a time. What a time. So, I don't know. There's not much more to say, really, other than I love this. I love being the teacher. I love telling you everything I know. I love helping you, and I don't want to be a stranger. So please, find me on LinkedIn. Find me on TikTok. Find me on Instagram. Find me truly anywhere. Go to my website. I don't care. Find me. I love this stuff. It's like some people draw for a hobby. I write people's resumes for a hobby. Like, I don't know why. I just love this. It might just be built into my DNA. I don't know. I've always been like this. I would do art school all day and I would do business school at night because I just like things that are equations, and I like things that are emotional and romantic and like woo-woo, you know? I'm really fortunate that I have both sides of that brain, because not everyone does, and no one expects that of you. So just be good at what you're good at and find the people that can help you follow it through if you don't have that skill. I just happen to be both. So that concludes this, I guess. That concludes the Creative Mentor. And you know, if you're in the Chicago area and you join the Chicago AIGA, or you need them to help you with a portfolio review, or you join their own mentorship course or anything like that, I spend a lot of my energy, a lot of this energy that went into this podcast there. So you can find me over there. You know, if I have the bandwidth next fall to do their mentorship program, I'm going to do this again. I would love to. I didn't do it this past time because there was just too much happening. So I hope to see you there, and I hope this brings you somewhere, and I hope this helps you wherever you are in this country, in this world. I hope this helped. So reach out to me. Again, my name is Lauren Versino. That's LaurenVersino. Find me. I'm on the internet and I'm everywhere, and I would love to talk to you. So until next time, I will talk to you all later.